What is up with it? Today we are going to be doing a double feature between E Quinby and Poe DW. You may not be familiar with those names, but they're both consistently at the top of ladder. In this specific game, this player was rank 5 on the ladder and this player was rank 2 on the ladder. We're going to watch back-to-back games because they played two in a row, and we'll go ahead and see what things are looking like. For reference, they're both around 8 billion, 9 billion berries at the time of recording. So the Lucci won the rock paper scissors and chose to go first. It looks like the Dofi elected to keep with a Boa, Perona, Weevil, Pudding, and Teach. Drawing a Sengoku for turn, one of the best draws in the entire deck, if not the best draw he could have had there. Um, and then we're just going to go ahead and Perona. We're finding the Jinbei. You love to see it. We'll see if they are wanting to draw the Jinbei or play the Jinbei off top. Some pros and cons for both. If you play it off top, obviously they are going to be able to swing into it, whereas if you play it standing, they're going to be forced to swing into you. However, if you play it off top, you are both, in essence, drawing a card because you are playing a card off the top of your deck rather than from your hand. And then also, you're going to be swinging a lot bigger, right? So don't mind seeing it off the top. Starting with a Spandam on the 3 drawn turn, we got to imagine that means he drew it for turn. Swinging 7. We're always taking that as the Dofi. Um, I would have personally liked to see the Lucci just swing 5 there. The Dofi opponent is always supposed to take that hit, even if it is just a 5. So give them an opportunity to make the mistake. Okay, so we went Jinbei Weevil, then we played Sengoku, found another Jinbei. This Lucci player is going to start feeling like he got high rolled from the double Jinbei, but the truth is, if you go Sengoku, Perona, Sengoku, you've now seen over 20 cards in your deck. I'm so sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. So we're just going to go ahead and swing 5. Have to imagine we're going to counter out here with likely a Teacher Pudding. 5 Dawn left. The scariest thing that the Dofi could do would have been a Soap Sheep Lucci. Instead, just playing a Sabo. Got to imagine the Dofi player is completely fine with that. We have 6 Dawn here, so we can actually, we could swing 3 times. So it looks like, and then go Jinbei Boa, and fill up our board completely. Looks like we're going to go Boa next. No hits there, unfortunately. Honestly, maybe we could have just played the Teach, because it does feel bad when we miss here. And at least hitting the Teach, it gives them something they have to remove, right? Electing not to swing with the Jinbei. Just because if you swing with the Jinbei, the Sabo is going to get a free block here. So no reason to swing it. No reason to turn it sideways. Now we only have a 6k body rested. We've got a fair bit of counter in our hand. 2 1ks, 2 2ks. The Boa will be nice for next turn. I have to imagine we're going to take the block here. On 7 Dawn, a lot of the time we're going to see the Jack. Especially when they start with this 5 swing. So might as well take the block. You honestly don't hate taking the damage here as the Dofi, but no reason to take the damage if you can just block it for free. So we're going to start with a 6 here, see what the Lucci does. Got a 2k out of hand, down to 6 cards. Have to imagine we're going to swing another 3 times while playing the Boa and Leader effect. Excuse me. So swinging 6. Gonna block in 1k there. Going for the boa. I have to imagine we're gonna play the gecko off top. The gravity blade actually most of the time in this matchup is dead. But it might not be bad here as we do have the teach and they do have the Sabo on board. So potentially we could be getting rid of the Sabo and then either a Rebecca or a Lucci. A lot of the time we're going to expect them to be playing Gecko on this 9 Dawn turn. So far the Dofi seems to be, exactly where he is, where he wants to be. He's got 5 characters on board. And the Lucci is down to 1 life. So definitely cannot be feeling bad about how things are going. Feels like we've hit exactly the way we want to. The boa missed on the 6th Dawn turn, but it doesn't seem like it matters. The Lucci did concede. So now we are here for the second game between eQuinB and PoeDW. Looks like the Lucci once again won the rock, paper, scissors and chose to go first. We once again have the Perona, but we do not have the Sengoku to go with it. I wouldn't hate seeing a Weevil come off the top and then going from there. I think this stack looks pretty good. The Weevil drawing a couple 2Ks. We could potentially hit Law off the top the following turn with the Jinbei Boa. That could definitely be good. We expect them to play a 4-drop a lot of the time. Okay, finding another Boa. Never hate to see that. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and swing 7. This gives us the option to potentially play the Kaya or Sengoku. Playing Sengoku, finding another Jinbei. Never hate to see that. And it looks like the Lucci player is taking his time. Not in a rush to make any sudden moves. Okay, just going to go ahead and Ice Age and Brook swing at the Weevil. The Brook very strong on 3 in this matchup. And we go ahead and have a Rebecca grabbing a Brook that we milled off leader and playing the Brook. Now this is an incredible position for the Lucci, right? Having the blocker while having double Brook just is phenomenal. Have to imagine a lot of the time we're going to see a block here. Oh, just a take. Okay. Not worried about going down to 3. Not worried about getting punted or anything of the such. Maybe wanted to take that life because they're looking for certain pieces. Cost reduction, of course, is going to be super incredible here. And the Spandam, finding the Tempest Kick, really good find off the Spandam. Just going to make it so that for 1 Dawn, the Brook can remove the Boa. Still have 6 Dawn. And it really looks like Dofi has found the things he needed. Getting the Weevil off the top on the first turn. And then on 6 having Jinbei Boa Weevil. And then having another Jinbei Boa for next turn. Really strong, but losing the die roll with the Lucci finding the pieces he has found, this really looks like an advantageous position for the Lucci at the moment. as the Dofi player, what are you really looking to do when, every turn it looks like they're removing your 4-drops for 1 Dawn with this double Brook situation? And you can't even get rid of both, is the real issue. Gravity Blade here, obviously not very strong. It would get rid of the Brooks, but, how much is that really doing? Swinging 5 here at the Brook, kind of an interesting number. I'm not exactly sure what we're looking to do with our 8 Dawn. Okay, it looks like we're electing to play a Kaya. Get some of these bricks out of the hand. So we have 7 Dawn left. Okay, so we have the Teach. So that let us play the Kaya, just hopefully trying to find some good cards. That play was kind of cute. I kind of like it. Okay, so we have found the Perfume. So we have a bit of a win condition. That said, these Brooks are just going to be a menace, honestly. Maybe we could have swung into them, but never mind that. Swinging an 8 into the Brooks feels pretty bad. And it looks like they double 2K'd out of that 8 as well. Probably worrying about getting too many cards in hand and getting punished by a pudding. Probably like their hand quite a lot. The Brooks are just getting a lot of value this game. Still having 7 Dawn remaining. Not even having to play a Gecko Moira. Something a little bit different about Dofi versus something like RP Law, as I've seen a lot of people compare this matchup to that matchup back in 07. Is there's a lot of times where the Lucci gets to play these Brooks and there's just nothing you can do about it. You don't really want to be wasting your 7K swings that you're using leader effect on these 4s, and you don't have the built-in removal into your leader. So you have to draw the Law, and even when you draw the Law, if you don't have a 1-drop to bounce with the Law, you're kind of removing your own tempo. Whereas the Law has the removal built into the leader and also is building board when they do it. The Law also had 5 and 6 drops that he would play off of leader, or not off leader, but he'd play them off leader in cases of the Sanji. And for a deck like Lucci, the difference between 4 and 6 is huge. You can remove a 4 almost for free with Lucci. 6, certainly at times it's pretty easy, but really the 4 is where it gets really, really easy. There are certainly benefits for the Dofi over the Law in this matchup, but just some cons. Lucci player taking a really long time to think about this turn, it feels like. This is testing, so, make the right play. Don't hate to see it. Oh, playing the Tashigi. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for all this nonsense. Um, but I want to keep the content coming for you guys. 2 a day is the goal. So far, we have been able to reach that goal. Okay, so thinking about swinging 6 at the Tashigi. If we don't get rid of that, then it's just going to be free removal every single time. Going for the double boa strategy to grab the gecko. I have to imagine we're going to maybe grab Jinbei. Jinbei can always play the gecko next turn. I have to imagine the Lucci is going to once again remove everything, or almost everything. We're really running low on cards with only 3, while as they have 7. You know, we have a lot more board presence currently, but I imagine that will not be the case at the end of this turn. You have to imagine a single gecko paired with a reducer is just going to seal the game. In that case, I would imagine we could remove at least 3 things this turn, if not more. Looks like we're starting strong with the Ice Age. PoEDW taking his time. Fair enough. This is ranked ladder. There's a timer. You have a certain amount of time that you are allotted to use, and use as much of it as you need, you know. Playing the Rebecca, I believe we knew they had that, maybe from us bouncing it previously. I could be mistaken. Playing the third Brook. He's actually not playing Lucci today. He is actually just playing a glorified Brook deck. Playing back the Tashigi that he grabbed off the Rebecca. And I have to imagine we're going to be able to swing 5 2 more times at this Jinbei. And then we'll remove the Teach. And at this point, the game is pretty much over. Have to imagine we're going to go Jinbei, Gecko, grab Boa, play Boa. We found a Jinbei. Definitely do not hate finding the Jinbei there. However, you know, almost feels like it doesn't matter that we found 3 Jinbeis this game, 3 Boas, 3 Weevils, 2 Geckos. You know, we found everything we needed. This is a great example of, as Dofi, if you lose the die roll versus Lucci specifically, even if you high roll, it really doesn't matter. They can just blow you out if they see the pieces, you know. I would love to hear if anyone in the comments strongly disagrees with any of the Dofi plays that have been made, if they believe that the Dofi threw at some point. So here they're swinging 7. We could counter, but then we only have 1 card in hand, and it becomes pretty easy to kill. We found a 2K, which is pretty nice. If they try to swing 9 here, we have the counter. Now if they try to swing 7 here, we actually have the counter. we actually have the counter. So there's actually something they should do instead, which they're doing here, where they're just saying, hey, you only have 2 cards in hand. Why do I have to go 7, which loses to 2 cards? I can just go 5 3 times. Doesn't matter what's in your hand, you lose. Very, very heads up, smart play by PoeDW. Hopefully you guys saw that. I think that's maybe one of the best takeaways here is just thinking about how to get cards out of hand, right? That situation, I think a lot of players, they just swing 9 or they swing 7 and 7. But that's not necessarily the best thing to do. You know, always be thinking about your swings, why you want to do them, what it beats, what it loses to. And this, I think, was a great situation of both how the Dofi can win and how the Dofi can lose versus Lucci, you know. 2 high rolls in a row, high rolls for Dofi. 1 he wins, 1 he loses. Hopefully there were some takeaways for you guys, and thank you so much for watching.